Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Their own 28-yard line.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Finding Tolbert here over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Right back to Tolbert. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. The pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
They'll run it with Elliott. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here at 1st and 10. Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Hey, 47. Here we go, 46.
From the red zone now, Prescott. Quick hitter here. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expect it to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yeah, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be out right at the 35. yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Back to throw. Pearson. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Pearson. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Elliott going to get it again on second down. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one, no gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Third down, it's Prescott. That's into the hands of Tolbert. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jalen Tolbert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Cowboys 7, Vikings 0.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 1st and 10, Pearson. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark, and the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. The disaster there, I mean, you saw it coming. The pressure gets knocked down, the interception.
Sometimes the best throw you make is the one you
don't make.
Exactly. Take care of the football. He'll also learn how to shrug his shoulders, take the proper slide steps to alleviate some of the pressure. But occasionally, like the one we just saw, sometimes just hold on to the football and take the hit.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Six yards left on second down. On play action, Prescott rolling to his right. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, let's give some credit to the defense. They did a nice job there as they flushed him to his right. But he is able to buy some time, extend the play, and turn it into a short gain.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
36-yard attempt.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
First down 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick-6 there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first-quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've been off to the races already. A 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 43-yard line.
$17-0 our score after 1.
The score, Cowboys 17, Vikings 0.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw. Prescott. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go, 46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Prescott to Schultz there for the Cowboy first.
Good protection there on 3rd down. This is just a simple flip to his tight end outside the numbers, and he's able to haul it in and pick up the 1st down.
1st down, Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
The slot man in motion right. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. A dump off to Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Okay, break.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another first and 10.
Unlock line. Unlock line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Look at the spin. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. On first down, they'll run to Nwangu. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On the jump.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Bronco switch. Bronco switch. Ready.
Now Thomas. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Greedy Williams on the stop. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
From the gun on 3rd down. Pearson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches are going to...
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the route is on here in this first half.
27. Vikings, nothing.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. On second down, it's Cook again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
We're going to 54. Right here. We're going to 53.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He'll buy some time right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On second down, Elliott. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
He was brought down at the 10-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Viking 18. Fix the eagle. Fix the eagle. Ready.
From the gun on third down, Pearson. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Pearson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
To throw is Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Elliott. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
At the 41-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
47.
From the 41, Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Run of the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw him coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Elliott will take this into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one, because right now this has not been his game.
Now here's a throw that's complete, and the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 6.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Pearson. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 15-yard line. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This from 42 yards out. The kick by Joseph is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out. So it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. On second down, Elliott once more. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
But they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 63 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 17. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's a quick throw by Dak, complete out wide. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He's got it. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Up the middle, Nwangu. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Come on.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Back to the ground, this time Cook. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 111 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
They run with Thomas. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Ready.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Let's go now.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance.